Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Charles Curcio from the Stanley News and Press, and this is the weekly coaches show here at Pfeiffer University. First, I'm here with the women's head basketball coach, Jill Thomas. Coach, let's talk a little bit first about this is your third season coming up. You took over the reins midway through a couple of years ago. Talk a little bit about that transition and what it's been like to build the program the last couple of years.
Okay. First, thank you for having me, Charles. We're excited to start these weekly shows. I will be starting my third season at Pfeiffer. It'll be my second as full-time head coach. I came in as the assistant and did take over midway through the season. That was a great experience, great learning experience for both me and the team. I was proud of the way we ended that season. We fought hard, and the girls were tremendous. Since then, we've really been trying to turn the program around as far as bringing in recruits, getting back to high numbers and getting some talent on our roster, which is extremely important for us. Being in the Conference Carolina, it's definitely a conference that we can compete to win the title every year, and we need student athletes who are going to help us do that represent Pfeiffer University in a positive manner and can play on the court for us.
Well, I was taking a look at your roster this year. Of course, you have only a couple of seniors. It's a fairly young team, but it's a team that's actually played together for a couple of seasons, and that must have to give you just a little bit of an advantage, I would think, going into this season.
Yeah, we definitely talk about a lot of that. That team that you see on the roster right now played together all of last year. We've only lost one person from that roster. We have two seniors who have been at Pfeiffer. This will be their fifth year, so they've been through many coaches. So that's still been a little bit of a transition, making sure they understand our system and those things. But they've done a tremendous job so far this season. Friday night's game was, obviously our opening game, and they played very well. We're still looking for that leadership role with this young team, though. We have 7 sophomores on the roster who were all freshmen last year. So if we can get some of them to step up and continue to be leaders, we're really excited about this group because they have played together for a year now.
What would you say your outlook is as far as overall for this season? What are your expectations as far as for the Pfeiffer women's team?
Expectations would definitely be in the top 3 of the conference. No question there. I think we can do that. When we buckle down and we really play together as a team, we're very dangerous. But right now, with wins and losses aside, we really are looking for that leadership. Continuous leadership every day, practice, games, off the floor. That's our number one factor that we need right now.
Coach, tell us a little bit about what your strategy is and what your philosophy is as far as basketball goes.
Okay. We're definitely an up-tempo team. We want to push, we want to score in transition all the time. That's one of our advantages that we think we have on people because we're so athletic. So anytime we can get a layup in transition, that's what we want to do. We play a lot of 4-out, so our kids have freedom. We're not the type of team that's going to run a set every single time down the floor. We want a lot of freedom, and defensively, we want to pressure you. We play half-court man, and our ball pressure, we stress it every day. It needs to be tremendous, and that kind of sets the tone for our half-court defense.
Who triggers the break, and whose job is it really to really get that ball out and going?
It's definitely our point guard, Dominique China. She's extremely fast and athletic. One of the things we've actually been stressing with her is rebound more. When you get that rebound, you start the break. We don't have to worry about hitting you in the outlet. And we have Devon Knight, who is another senior who we call our rim runner, who can get out pretty quick, and we're looking for those two to really score in transition.
But it's not just even getting layups, even getting 3-pointers in transition. You've got girls on this team that really can consistently knock down the 3. Who are those players, and what do you expect from them?
All right, 2 of those players especially are Celeste Caudal, who is also a sophomore, with Brittany Cox. We really expect them to knock down the 3 for us. They both had tremendous years, had a lot of playing time as freshmen. And most freshmen don't see the minutes that they got. And as we remember, Celeste had a fantastic year, set a couple school records. So we really look to them to stroke it a little bit in transition this year. We do a good job of spreading out the floor. We send our Devonna to the rim, and then we have those 3-point shooters, spotting up, ready to knock it down.
And then inside, you've got several girls listed, 6 foot, 5'11". You've got good toughness inside as far as rebounding, putbacks, and low post play.
Absolutely. We really, really are stressing post play this year because of the size and strength we have in there. With a 4-out 1 in system, one post is in there just battling hard, and we really want to hit them. And like I had mentioned earlier, our inside out is our best offense right now.
Let's talk a little bit about your first game. Obviously, a disappointment. Losing. Anytime you lose a game like that, it's the buzzer. Of course, it's a heartbreaker and it's tough. But a lot of positives. There was a lot of positives in that game. What were a few of those?
Number one positive was our turnovers. We handled the ball. We were tremendous. And defensively, they only had 29 points at halftime. King did, and I was really proud of that. Like you said, we did a lot of good things. And what we can take away from that King game is just managing down the stretch. We need to make sure we're in control for 40 minutes and not 20 or 25. And we're really going to take this game as a learning experience and build from it and move forward, I guess.
Well, as we're taping this tonight, you've got Brevard. Of course, former Pfeiffer star Shannon Reed is the head coach at Brevard, and Terrence Baxter, another Pfeiffer name people will recognize her as their assistant. What do you expect from tonight's game with Brevard?
You just said it, just right there. Two coaches are alumni of Pfeiffer, and whenever that's the case, they really want it. Brevard lives and dies on the three a little bit, so we really need to defend that. It's our home court. We need to be excited. We actually need to shoot a little bit better than they do from three tonight. But, I really expect a good game. Brevard's going to come in here ready to go. Obviously it's a SAC, Conference Carolina Challenge, so it's a regional game. So that's going to add a little bit more to it. But expect a fight. It's going to be a good game. And the team that can handle the ball, less turnovers, and hit the three a little bit better, I think, is going to win that game.
Coach, thank you very much for your time, and we appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
We're back on the Jill Thomas Show, and we've got Christina Harvey, a 5'10 sophomore. She's from Locust Grove, Virginia, right? I got that right. Okay. Locust Grove, Virginia, and you've been on the team now. This is your second year. Talk a little bit about first last year. You got a lot of playing time as a freshman, and most of the freshmen really did. How important was that, and how did that help you as far as getting to know the college game?
We were definitely a young team with like 8 freshmen. But it definitely brought us experience for this year. Last year we were a little bit inexperienced, but we worked well together, we worked hard, and we did decent for being such a young team. So this year, all of us have a lot of experience under our belts. We've played together, so we're definitely ready for a good season.
You're still a fairly young team. You have 2 seniors, but who do get a lot of playing time, but there's still the core of this team, like you say, is in that sophomore and junior range. What are your expectations so far for this season? What do you think you guys can do?
Oh, I think we can do a lot. I think we're going to be very dangerous. We all have experience under our belts now, so we know the competitive level of the Conference Carolinas. So I'm expecting us to be one of the top teams in our conference.
In the offense that Coach Thomas runs, the post a lot of times is sort of a person on an island, if you will, down there low in the box. Talk about your responsibilities and what the responsibilities of all the post players in this system.
Our responsibility would have to be just to hold our seals, to seal up whether we're getting the ball or not, open up the lane for the guards to be able to drive, get easy points inside, and definitely rebound.
Talk a little bit about the first game, Pfeiffer against King, obviously a heartbreaker at the end. Still some good positives. What positives do you think that you guys brought away from that?
We definitely kept our turnovers low. We beat our turnover goal, which that hurt us last year, having turnovers. So we've been working really hard to keep our turnovers down, and we did that. So more experience again. We know that you have to play 2 full halves to win a basketball game. So it was a good learning experience for us. So we're now ready to go on with the season.
How about tonight's game against Brevard?
We're super excited. We have a lot of anger to come out versus from King. Not a bad thing. So we know what we have to do. We have to play full 40 minutes. Brevard's a good team, just like King. So we have to come out, play 40 minutes of basketball.
Christina Harvey here on the Jill Thomas Show. Thanks very much.
Thank you.